Listen to me closely. I know exactly where you are right now. I'm not talking about your physical location. I'm talking about that heavy, sinking feeling in your chest when you check your phone and it's dry. No messages, no invites, no one checking in to see if you're still breathing. You walk through life watching other people. You see them laughing in groups at coffee shops, tagging each other in memes, planning weekends away. And on the surface, it looks like they have the code to happiness that you somehow missed. You start to question your own sanity. You ask yourself, is there something broken in my wiring? Am I unlovable? Am I just wrong? Society loves to label you. They call you antisocial. They call you a loner. They tell you to put yourself out there more. But what if I told you that your isolation isn't a malfunction? What if I told you that the reason you are alone isn't because you are failing at being human, but because you are failing at being fake? You are not a reject, you are an outlier. Science, evolutionary psychology, and the brutal truths of modern social dynamics prove that if you have 0 to no friends in today's world, you likely possess 5 incredibly rare, high-level traits that the average person simply cannot handle. Today, we are going to dissect your mind. We are going to tear apart the social lies you've been fed. By the end of this video, you won't want to fit in anymore. You'll realize that walking alone is the price of admission for an elevated life. Let's be real. The foundation of 90% of modern friendships is built on absolute bullshit. Sociologists call it social lubrication. It's the small talk. It's the, hey, how are you? When you don't actually care. It's laughing at jokes that aren't funny just to keep the vibe manageable. It is a performance. Most people are Academy Award-winning actors in their own lives. They put on a mask the second they leave their house. They suppress their real thoughts, they mirror the person they are talking to, and they trade integrity for acceptance. But you lack that mechanism. You have what psychologists call a high need for authenticity. Your brain is physically incapable of tolerating the fake. When someone approaches you with that plastic smile and that high-pitched customer service voice, your skin crawls. You feel a physical repulsion. It's not that you can't socialize, it's that you refuse to participate in the lie. You crave depth in a world that is obsessed with the shallow end of the pool. You want to talk about death, about the universe, about childhood trauma, about the things that actually matter. But the moment you bring that up, people look at you like you're crazy. They say, "Whoa, too deep, man." So, you have a choice. You can dumb yourself down, kill your spirit, and pretend to care about the weather or celebrity gossip just to have friends. Or you can stay silent. You chose silence. And here is the hard truth. If you have to perform to maintain the friendship, it's not a friendship. It's a gig. It's a job. And you just decided to quit. Before we go deeper into the second trait, which is backed by serious scientific data regarding your IQ, I want to ask you something. If this video is resonating with you, if you feel like finally someone is speaking your language, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. I don't ask for the algorithm. I ask because I am building a circle of people who are done with the noise. If you are one of us, lock it in. Let's continue. This is where it gets scientific. You need to understand that your desire to be alone might actually be a symptom of high intelligence. There is a famous study published in the British Journal of Psychology by researchers Kanazawa and Lee. They analyzed data from 15,000 people to understand what makes humans happy. For the majority of the population, let's call them the average majority, the results were predictable. The more social interaction they had, the happier they claimed to be. Being in a pack makes them feel safe. It gives them a dopamine hit. But there was a statistical anomaly. For people with extremely high IQs, the correlation flipped. The more intelligent people socialized, the less happy they became. This is known as the Savannah theory of happiness. Here's the breakdown. Our ancestors lived on the African savanna in groups of about 150. Socializing was survival. If you were alone, you died. So, the average brain is hardwired to seek the tribe. But a highly intelligent brain, a brain that has evolved past basic survival instincts, it views constant socialization as a distraction. You have big ideas, you have projects, you have a complex inner world. When you are forced to sit around and listen to people complain about their boss or talk about a TV show, your brain is screaming. It feels like you are wasting your life force. You aren't lonely. You are preoccupied. You are trying to solve problems, build a legacy, or understand the nature of reality. Socializing pulls you away from that mission. You don't have friends because your best friend is your own mind. And frankly, your mind is more interesting than most of the people you meet. Have you ever met someone for the first time, shook their hand, and immediately felt, no? Everyone else thinks they are charming. Everyone else thinks they are the life of the party. But you see something dark. You see the subtle narcissism. You see the way they cut people off. You see the jealousy hidden behind their compliments. This trait is called hypervigilance, or high-level pattern recognition. If you have no friends, it's often because you see the end of the movie before the opening credits have even finished rolling. Most people ignore red flags because they are terrified of being alone. They will hang out with a backstabber, a liar, or a toxic manipulator just to have plans on a Friday night. They operate on the philosophy of ignorance is bliss. But you cannot turn off your vision. You see the micro-expressions. You hear the tone shift. You notice that when you shared your good news, your so-called friend took a split second too long to smile. You know they aren't happy for you. And because you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. This makes you dangerous to fake people. They can sense that you see through them. Have you noticed that manipulative people often avoid you? It's because their tricks don't work on you. You are a mirror that reflects their ugliness back at them. So your circle is empty because you fired everyone who didn't make the cut. You didn't lose friends. You simply stopped ignoring the evidence that they were never your friends in the first place. Let's go a little darker. Let's talk about where this started. For many of you, this independence wasn't a choice. It was a survival requirement. Maybe you grew up in a house where you couldn't rely on the adults. Maybe you were bullied, and the teachers looked the other way. Maybe you trusted someone deeply once, and they destroyed you so badly that you vowed, subconsciously, never again. This developed a trait called radical self-sufficiency. Society tells us we need a support system. We are told to lean on others. You tried that. It didn't work. So you learned to become your own doctor, your own therapist, your own financial advisor, and your own best friend. You don't call people when you have a flat tire. You change it. You don't call people to cry about your breakup. You process it, hit the gym, and move on. This terrifies average people. See, most friendships are transactional codependency. I need you to validate me, so I will validate you. It's an exchange of weaknesses, but you don't need them. And when you don't need people, you can't be controlled by them. You can't be guilt-tripped. You can't be manipulated. People sense this power. It intimidates them. They think you are arrogant or cold. You aren't cold. You are just solid. You are a fortress. And people who are looking for a crutch don't like standing next to a fortress. It reminds them of how weak they are. You have few friends because you don't need people to complete you. You are already whole. Finally, the rarest trait of them all. You are physically here in 2024, but your spirit belongs to a different era. We live in the era of disposable culture. Everything is fast. Fast food, fast fashion, fast dating, fast friendships. People swipe left on relationships the second things get difficult. Loyalty is a concept that is dying out, but you operate on old-world values. You believe in loyalty that lasts a lifetime. You believe that if you give your word, it's a blood oath. You believe in fixing things when they break, not throwing them away. This creates a vibrational mismatch. You are trying to build a cathedral while everyone else is building TikToks. You want a connection that goes to the bone while everyone else just wants a drinking buddy. It is exhausting trying to explain your values to people who view people as disposable content. You feel like an alien because in a way you are. You are running an operating system that is no longer compatible with the modern hardware. And that is a beautiful tragedy. It means you will spend a lot of time alone. But it also means that if you do find that one person, that one other old soul, the friendship you build will be stronger than anything the average person will experience in 100 lifetimes. So, where does this leave you? You are sitting there, maybe in a dark room, wondering if you should try to change, wondering if you should lower your standards, fake a smile, and join the herd just to feel a little warmth. My advice? Don't you dare. Your solitude is not a prison. It is a palace. The universe isolates those who are being prepared for something greater. You cannot build a kingdom if you are distracted by the village idiots. You cannot hear your own intuition if you are constantly listening to the noise of the crowd. If you have no friends, it is because you are being protected. You are being saved from drama, from betrayal, from mediocrity, and from wasting your potential on people who do not deserve your energy. Embrace the void. Use this time. Build your body. Sharpen your mind. Create your empire. Because one day, the right people, the other lions, the other wolves, will find you. And until then, walk alone. Walk with your head high. Be the main character of your own movie. Visual cue. The narrator stares directly into the camera lens. Intense eye contact. If you are still here, if you listen to the very end, then you know you are one of the rare ones. Prove it. Go to the comments section right now and write, "I am the 1%. Let the confused people wonder what it means. Let the fake people scroll past. But we will know. See you in the next video. Stay sharp.